Welcome back to my channel. I'm Aubrey and I am the crazy bearded dragon girl. So today I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of owning a bearded dragon. And in my opinion, there aren't any cons. Like, I love everything about bearded dragons and taking care of them, but this is more so for people who don't have a bearded dragon and maybe are thinking about getting one, and just to fully understand what could be a con or could be a pro and everything that goes into taking care of them. So let's start with the pros. They are adorable pets. They are cuddly, and depending on the bearded dragon, they will just hang out with you. Cheeto, one of my bearded dragons, he will just sit with me for hours, hang on my clothes while I sweep my floor and clean or go for a walk, or he'll watch TV with me. But they're very chill and cuddly. He'll even fall asleep on me, and it is the cutest thing in the entire world. Another pro is that they are quiet pets, so they don't bark or meow or chirp or any other loud noises. They are quiet and contained, so they're not going to be waking you up meowing at you at 5:30 in the morning like my cats do. They bond easily with you. So there's lots of different types of reptiles. Bearded dragons are one of the best reptiles for bonding with and creating a bond. They get to know their owner and recognize their owner, and they do build a bond with you. It might not be instant the second you get them, but you can definitely spend time with them and work on bonding with them. They have a long lifespan. So bearded dragons can live from 10 to 15 years if they are well cared for. And so it is a pet that you can enjoy and have with you for a long period of time. And also, they are an independent pet. So they're not all up in your space when you're trying to do something. They stay in their cage, and some bearded dragons might be less independent than others. Like, they might beg you to come out of their tank. Cheeto, he goes in this one certain spot in his tank when he wants you to take him out, and he'll just like look at you and guilt trip you into taking him out of his tank. But for the most part, they can stay in their tank and they are contained and independent. They don't constantly need you, although they do require daily care. They're not climbing all over you unless you choose to take them out. And each bearded dragon is different, so their level of independence and their level of wanting to be out of their tank will vary with each one. So now let's talk about the cons of owning a bearded dragon. And these don't have to be deal breakers. They don't have to be a negative thing. They're just things to consider if you are thinking about getting a bearded dragon. They require specific care. So you can't just get a bearded dragon and, throw whatever you feel like feeding them in there and call it good. They require specific daily care to have a healthy bearded dragon. They require specific temperatures, humidity, and a specific diet, supplements, and lighting in order to have a healthy bearded dragon. So it's just important to understand this before you get one. Another con is that they do have live feedings. So you're going to have to be feeding them live insects. And if you're not a fan of that, or if that makes you uncomfortable or you don't like it, they're probably not the best pet for you. Or maybe you can have someone else do it if someone else lives in your home and they are willing to. But depending on their age, they have live feedings every day to a few times a week. They require fresh vegetables daily also. So you're going to have to keep fresh vegetables in your fridge and store them and prepare their fresh vegetables daily and give it to them. So you have to wash them, cut, chop them, whatever, and feed them fresh vegetables daily. Bearded dragons require supplements in order to be healthy. They have a high requirement for calcium and vitamin D, and so you're going to have to supplement them with those supplements. But they're inexpensive and you can just dust it on their food before you feed them. And the last con is that they can be pricey. Even if you see a bearded dragon for $50 at the pet store and you're like, oh, what a cheap pet, that's just the beginning. Their tank requirements, their lighting requirements, UV light and heat lights. They need things to climb on, things to hide in. They need substrate. They need their food costs money. That's a weekly expense for their live bugs and the extra vegetables you're going to have to buy. So it can add up. I'm not saying they're like super expensive and outrageous, but it's just something to consider if you see, a cheap bearded dragon. There is a lot more that goes into it than just the price of buying the bearded dragon. It is a bigger investment and also a constant cost from feeding them, replacing their lights, buying their supplements, etc. So I hope that this was helpful in understanding the pros and cons of owning a bearded dragon. And I hope it helps you make a decision on whether it's the right pet for you or not. And I will see you in the next video.